I think that a lot of fans believe that their program is unique in some way. And of course, every program is unique, just like every individual is unique, but in some kind of special way that these kind of things can happen elsewhere, but we do it differently here. We are the only one who operates like this, and this works for us. Yeah, I do think that just getting a little bit closer to the program and the ways of the program and the approach based on our conversations, that I think there's a very there is an element of a stodgy, outdated kind of approach to running a football operation. And the consistency, the stability, all of that works, but people need to adapt and change with the changing landscape, and this is a huge part of it, is talent acquisition.
It's such a ridiculous, and I'd love to get your opinion on this, Mark, because you know more than this yahoo on a message board about the landscape of college football and what programs are utilizing the transfer portal. So are you telling me, because according to some yahoo like this, according to him, if you bring in, let's just say, I'm not even going to shoot for the stars. Let's just say Jarrett got 1 year of eligibility remaining. So you're telling me that if Iowa brings in Daggy, that Labus is transferring, that Petras is transferring, that Padilla's gone, and May's going to decommit. Is that really going to happen? Is that reasonable? Does that happen when when teams bring in transfer portal quarterbacks? Is that happening?
That is not happening to date. Of course, at some point, you can think that if you get to a certain number of scholarship players at that position, somebody's going to leave. So first of all, the fans need to not be afraid of, and hopefully the coaching staff is not afraid of, this new landscape that attrition is now part of the deal. So you got to get comfortable with that first and foremost. Not that you want it, not that you don't want to retain, not that you don't want to limit and prevent to a certain extent, and do what you possibly can to, of course, have an attractive program and one that supports the student athletes, to show that you care about them and you're going to develop them in all areas of life to make it the best possible situation for them. So not that you just have this carefree attitude that, hey, players come and go. No, not at all. But you have to be comfortable with the attrition. It's like playing the stock market. You have to be comfortable with, hey, if you purchase 10 stocks and 7 or 8 hit, that you're going to lose 2 or 3 times, and you don't freak out when the 2 or 3 lose money. The other 7 or 8 are hitting. You're winning. You're good. It's the same thing here. It's just the way the sport is now structured.
I'm just trying to figure out, Mark, is that so? Again, because that is the mindset. It's not just what's one guy, and I'm sorry to pick on him, but when you draw a line in the sand and it's just law, you just make it law. There's no debate. Then I'm gonna critique it, because you're telling me then that Pittsburgh and Nebraska and Auburn and Oregon and Washington State, and I mean, I can go down the list, Virginia Tech, all these schools that have acquired transfer portal quarterbacks. And you can say, well, Corey, they lost quarterbacks. A lot of those schools did. But you know what? Washington State lost to Laura, and that's it. There have not been mass exits of their quarterback room. Okay. So you may lose. I'm not saying that if they bring in Burmeister or Daggy, or they're not going to get Jackson Dart, but we can again, another guy we can dream about. I'm not saying that if they did that you're not going to lose somebody. But again, Nebraska and Pittsburgh and these schools, they added somebody quality because they don't currently have quality. Whether that's because somebody left for the league or somebody transferred, they needed an upgrade from their current room. They had quarterbacks on scholarship, but they needed better quality quarterbacks now. And Iowa, I don't care if it's a full room right now, they need better quality quarterbacks now, regardless if it's because they're not performing or they left.
So this issue seems to be morphing into another issue that I hear not only with Iowa, but with other pretty high-level programs, that there is too much of a culture of tenure, that if you were the first one in line, if you were the first one to grab that spot, that it's forever yours. And even if you're performing at a marginal level and there are other people that could compete for that job, no, you beat that person to the spot. It's yours. And as long as you go to class, have a GPA, and you lift weights and you do all the things we ask you to do, even though you're not performing well on the field or marginally on the field, you're going to keep your job.
Losing mentality.
Yeah, the elite programs of college football don't operate like that, and even coming down levels, most don't. And you can't. It has to be a performance based situation, and I'm all for rewarding tenure in other ways and rewarding tenure even in terms of playing time if that's the tiebreaker.
Yeah. Absolutely. The way, especially with quarterback play, but every position on the field, it should be how you're performing. And that's just what it is. And so, and I'm not trying to say that Kirk doesn't play the best guy on the roster. But if assuming that he does, giving him the benefit of the doubt, and Spencer Petras is the best guy on the roster, then we need an upgrade. That's just the bottom line. It doesn't, again, it doesn't matter how many quality guys. It doesn't matter if Joey Labus is getting close. He's not ready.